Hey, I hope you like this video, and if you want me to get some more videos like this, go to my YouTube channel and subscribe. See you next time. Bye.
A lot of people have food for fuel. I eat it because I love food. My name is Rafael. I'm the chef and owner of Mikey's Cafe in Guayma. The MY is for my daughter, Lisa. The K is for my daughter, Kelsey. This actual spot here was owned by my parents. They had Mexican food here, and then I took over. It took me about a year to create the menu, and then finally we opened up, and here we are. I wanted it to be different, and what am I going to specialize in? And it was pancakes. Lemon curd, it's your standard buttermilk pancake. I incorporate it with raspberries. So you get a little bit of tartness with the sweetness, and it just balances out really well. So the red velvet, we make it from scratch, of course. And that one's topped with cream cheese frosting. You can eat this cream cheese frosting like it's ice cream. That's how different it is. I knew that opening up, it was going to be a lunch breakfast spot, and I wanted to be when you come here, oh man, I can only get that burger here. We have a mole burger. That one took me 15 minutes to create. I was just hungry. I'm like, all right, I want mole. You know what, let me throw that on the hamburger. Tasted it, oh good. You know what, it needs to be a little spicy. So I threw on some pico de gallo. I tasted it, I'm like, wow, this is actually really good. So now I just need the burger to explode. So I get the cheese and I actually melt it on the grill so it makes it crispy. So you have this saucer around the hamburger. So the Snicker burger, inside the patty, it's bacon and the Snicker. So the chocolate actually melts in there. Okay, what else am I going to include on here? I thought of right away green apple because of the caramel in the Snicker. It tasted good. However, it's still missing something. I knew I needed something a little spicy and sweet, and I came up with the honey habanero aioli sauce. Threw it on the burger. First time I tried it, I'm like, whoa, this is really good. I got it. I was done. Everybody gets freaked out about it. The first thing they say is Snickers, that's gross. But it's curiosity at the same time. It's become a very popular burger now. I enjoy doing that little shock value and creating something where, no way this is gonna work, but it does. Any child that has perfect attendance or any type of achievement, they get free pancakes. So I can see the face of these kids when they see these huge pancakes, and it prompts them to get perfect attendance all the time. And they'll come in and give me a high five, I got perfect attendance again. That right there just makes it really rewarding. 3 years ago, opening this restaurant, that's when I realized that this was my passion. I mean, what really brings people together? It's art, music, and food. We have that all in here. You know, when they come in here and they're eating, they're like, oh man, thanks, that was awesome. That's the biggest joy that you get. Yeah, we work a lot, but it doesn't seem like work because I'm passionate about it. And when you're passionate about it, it doesn't feel like work. It's a feeling that, you know, I've never felt before.
Hi, I'm Sarah from the food team and I'm going to show you how to make the perfect pavlova. It's really important that all your equipment is really clean and grease free, and also that you get no yolk in your whites, otherwise they just won't whisk up properly, which is why I like to crack my eggs into a separate bowl before I add it into the main batch, just in case I split the yolk. In with the rest, and now you want to whisk until stiff. You're looking for peaks that hold their shape, and that means you're ready to go in with the sugar. Now, if you're a beginner, you might want to do this in a couple of batches and just whisk back to stiff between each addition. You're looking for a meringue mixture which is lovely and thick and shiny, and at the last minute you should have thrown in your corn flour and vinegar. That's what gives the pavlova the soft, mallowy centre. Line your baking tray with baking parchment. Now you can shape it freeform, but if you want something a bit neater or more precise, use a compass or draw around a plate. And remember to flip over the paper so you don't get any pen or pencil on your pavlova. Now, I like to use my palette knife to shape the pavlova, smoothing the top, which makes it easier to stack or decorate, but leaving the edges rough, as I think this looks prettier. Now it's ready to bake on as low a shelf as possible. You know your pavlova's ready when it peels easily away from the paper. Now you can leave it to cool completely before decorating. I like to top mine with vanilla cream and berries.
Hello, this is Chef John from foodwishes.com with buttermilk and brown sugar meatloaf. I know it sounds more like a coffee cake, but it was a really good recipe, and let me show you this. I took one large yellow onion and chopped it up, and I'm going to saute that in 2 tablespoons of butter. I want it kind of translucent, a little bit soft, but not browned. So that took about 6 or 7 minutes. Turn that off, let it cool down. I have 2.5 pounds of ground chuck, and here's an important trick. Take the tip of a fork, I think that's called the tines. I learned that in a crossword puzzle. And you just kind of separate all those strands of meat and kind of break it up a little bit. And then when we put our herbs and spices and stuff on there, it mixes in a lot easier and you don't have to overmix it. Let's spice this up. I have a pinch of tarragon, that's dried tarragon. All right, I got some Worcestershire sauce, some black pepper, some salt. Now salt, I have a formula. I do 1 teaspoon per pound of meat. So for me that was 2.5 teaspoons of salt. All right, some ketchup, very important for the acidity, it gives it a nice color when it's cooked. I'm going to put in my onions on top of the ketchup because they're still a little warm and the ketchup's cold, and now the onions aren't burning my beef. And those are pretty cool anyway, so just make sure they're not really hot when you put them in, but if they're warm, it's okay. I'm going to give a little squirt of hot sauce, the hot sauce of your choice, optional. All right, a pinch of regular dry Italian herb mix that's got the rosemary and the marjoram and the thyme and the, you know. And I'm going to put buttermilk, the secret ingredient.
I poured it on it, I poured it out.
All right, thank you, meatloaf. That's going to make it nice and delicious. Now, I normally put a little milk in my meatloaf, so I thought, hey, buttermilk, it's tangy, low fat, let's try it out. I'm going to put 2 beaten eggs in there, and my breadcrumbs. The amount of breadcrumbs is crucial. You must have the perfect measurement, so, go to the site if you're not already there, and all the ingredients are listed. We're going to mix that up with my fork. Now, you notice my hands have not gotten in here yet. And I know what you're thinking, what's the deal with the fork? I'd like to touch my meatloaf. Me too. So we're going to touch it when we form it. That way it doesn't get overmixed. Once it's mixed, we are going to let it sit, and we're going to let the breadcrumbs suck up a little bit of that moisture for about 10 minutes. Okay, just let it sit there. and it will kind of stiffen up a little bit. So I'm going to wet my fingers. That will let me give it a nice smooth finish without it sticking to my hands. And you're going to shape it into a loaf.
Can do is keep on telling you I want you, I need you.
Thank you, Meatloaf. And I'm going to put it in a slow oven, 325 for 45 minutes. All right, and that's just when we're going to glaze it. So in the meantime, while we're waiting for that to cook, the first portion of the cooking, we're going to mix up my brown sugar glaze. It's just brown sugar, mustard, all right, and a little splash of vinegar. And after 45 minutes, it's still not cooked, but we're going to glaze it. And it's a very light glaze, nothing real heavy. We're going to put it back in for a half hour, so it goes about an hour, 15 minutes altogether. Internal temperature, 160. And what comes out is so moist and tender and delicious, you're not going to believe it. The slow cooking helps. The buttermilk definitely gave it just a fantastic texture and taste. The somewhat sweet glaze kind of balances the tanginess. The onions, the herbs, the spices, you know, it all works together. So find yourself some mashed potatoes. Brussels sprouts are optional. And what makes a great recipe? Looks great, tastes great, very healthy. So, you know, this is 2 out of 3. But as someone once said,
'cause 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Yes, very well said, Meatloaf. Go to the site, get the ingredients, and as always, enjoy. And Meatloaf, take us out.
'Cause 2 out of 3